Hey everyone, welcome to Encore, and today I'm going to share with you a couple of products from Nurturing Force. Hey everyone, welcome back. So Nurturing Force have products that I just recently discovered, and they're ideal for airbrush artists or for those of you guys who use airbrush makeup. Now the products are originally designed for airbrush makeup, but they actually work amazingly for all kinds of makeup, whether you're a liquid makeup wearer, powder makeup, cream makeup, or airbrush makeup. So for those of you guys who are professional artists working with airbrush, you know that there are certain products that most of the time, even in classes, they don't advise you to use, and one of those products is primer. So most of the time, like most brand name companies will tell you, oh, you don't need a primer, but there are certain cases that we wish that we can prime when airbrushing. Now, if you are a home user that owns an airbrush machine and you use airbrush makeup, and you need a little bit more priming, perhaps, you know, you have fine lines that you want to prime, or acne, scars like I do, I definitely prefer priming first. So therefore, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of makeup, you know, I would use, I would definitely have to prime. So for airbrush makeup, these two products are amazing, and I'm going to introduce them to you. It's from Nurturing Force, and this one is called Blot Out Offensive. Okay, and this is actually a shine control, kind of like mattifying anti-shine, an oil control cream. I'm oily, you guys know that. I always shine in my videos and I'm just oily, so oil control cream as well as moisturizer. Okay, there's a moisturizer built in, and also this is an HD primer right there for makeup. So mattifying cream, anti-shine cream, moisturizer, and primer for HD makeup. Alright, and it's basically in a cream form. Now the second product I'm going to introduce to you is this Nurturing Force Blot Paper. Now, you know that when you airbrush somebody, you don't dare blot it because it's going to leave hatch marks from the blotting paper, or it's going to lift, it's going to crack, it's going to bubble, you know, if you use blotting paper. And I found this blotting paper like the best, and it's specifically designed for airbrush makeup. And one thing that I really like about this is actually it's kind of like water based, and it's spring water that's also naturally scented by essential essences basically, and it comes in like rose, lavender, I believe, and aloe vera. I think it's aloe vera base. And one thing I like about this just recently is that I had a photo shoot and the male model is bald, like, you know, bald head, and the lights were shining through, and I tried to powder it, I tried to mattify it, used like all kinds of anti-shine, and I was just like, it's still lightning. It's, I mean, you know, just the lighting is just really like casting this like glare. And I just pulled this out, you know, took one and said, okay, well, you know, I never really tried and tested it, but I just kind of patted it on his head, and the shine just went away. It just blotted all the shine out, and it was a great, you know, photo shoot at the end of it all. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you guys. They'll love it because it's so compact, and you can just throw this in your purse, you can throw this in your kit. If you guys do like bridal kits, if you do like weddings and you give away like bridal kits, this is great to add that in there as well. And these two products I'm going to show you today. So let's start with the Blot Out Offensive. Alright, and like I said earlier, it's a cream form, and what you do is you apply it on much like a moisturizer or a primer. Now it's a little bit on the thick side. Alright, so as you can see, like right on the cap, it kind of sticks on the cap. It's kind of like used. I've been playing with it, I've been testing it, so that's why I'm sharing this with you guys today. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that. You don't need a lot. very small amount goes a long way on this, alright? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime one side of my face and not the other side. As you can see, I'm really oily, I'm shiny. I just have oily skin. Now if you have combination skin like in the T-zone, definitely prime that area, okay? And most of the time for airbrush makeup, we all know that most of the primers are silicone based, and the airbrush makeup as well. You know, they're silicone based, water based, and alcohol based. And one thing about this is like it's all natural, it's environmentally friendly. There's no chemical whatsoever. So that's really good, and it's great for sensitive skin. And I do have sensitive skin, so that's why I'm loving it. So I'm just going to apply really that much, okay? And as you can see, I didn't apply a lot and it looks a lot already, so you really don't need a lot. You just need very little and it goes a long way. So just try to spread that as much as you can. As you can see, it's filling in the pits, you know, my acne scar, alright? And you just spread that evenly, alright? And one thing about this primer is that it's not going to set, and that's one problem about most primers, that it sets, and therefore when you airbrush over it, you're going to get cracking, and you're going to get bubbles, and you don't want that when you're airbrushing. You want it as flawless as possible. So most other primers are going to do that. So that's one thing I like about this primer, is that it's not going to set until the airbrush touches it. Alright, so it's going to remain nice and moist on your skin. It feels great on your skin. It's not sticky at all. So, alright, so I'm just going to apply that. And then I'm going to airbrush this side and that side so you guys can see the difference. So let me get my airbrush. Okay, so I got my airbrush set up, and that noise that you're hearing is my compressor, and I use Temp 2. And Temp 2 is my favorite airbrush foundation, and pretty much airbrush makeup really. And it's silicone based, and now we know that if silicone based, oily skin, it's just going to slip and slide unless you're primed. So for those of you guys who's wondering, I'm a 7C, alright, in Temp 2. And here's my airbrush gun. Alright, and I'm going to airbrush this side of my face, and then I'm going to airbrush this side, and again, this side has a primer, this side doesn't. Alright, so I'm just going to start, okay, and the best way to really airbrush is doing circular motion, okay, as opposed to painting it back and forth. It's hard doing this in a video, and kind of like looking at yourself as well. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to do this side. Okay, so as you can see, this side of my face looks a lot more like flawless looking than this side. This side you can still see a little bit of the scarring, and you know, if you're not going to prime that, you're going to have to layer a little bit more in order to cover that. Now it's great if you have flawless skin to begin with, because you know, you can just prime and then just do one coat and it'll look flawless as it is. But for those of us who are acne prone or have acne scarring, definitely it's going to make a difference, look at that, versus that, you know, if you are going to prime it. And if you use regular primer, like I said earlier, and you airbrush over that, you're going to get cracking later on, and then you're going to get bubbling, and you don't want that because it's not going to give you a flawless finish if you are airbrushing. Now, let me show you the blotting paper, alright, the Nurturing Force blotting paper. And it just basically comes in a strip, and the cutter is actually built into the case, alright? And the case, by the way, is earth friendly as well. And the paper, of course, is biodegradable. And you just kind of get whatever length you want and you press it, and then you just rip it. Just kind of like, you know, aluminum foil or saran wrap, really. Alright? And again, you just blot the area where you shine, like my forehead right here. Okay, I just blot. And there's no chemicals, there's no powder, there's no talc in this paper. Alright, it just picks up oil. Look how greasy I am right there. And see how like the shine is gone like immediately, and the paper picks it up. And then again, you know, I'm just going to do that right in my T-zone. See, all the shine's gone. Alright, paper picks it up. And I love the scent. And again, it's from natural spring water with essentials. So it's good for your skin. Alright, so there's my T-zone, all nice and blotted. Now I'm going to demonstrate blotting the airbrushed area, because like I said earlier, we all know you don't want to touch airbrushed skin because it's going to leave hatch marks, it's going to leave lint, it's going to basically, like, you know, basically just destroy that flawless finish that you did. Alright, so I'm just going to blot, blot, blot. Look at that. It's not even like touching the airbrush area of my cheek. It still picks up the oil. Alright. Same thing on this side. See? I love, love, love this stuff, especially if you're an airbrush artist or if you use airbrush makeup. Alright, so that's it. It's just a blotting paper. It's not going to destroy your airbrush artwork, makeup, whatever. And it picks up oil, it takes out shine. This saved me already from that photo shoot. Wow. So, anyway, check them out. I found these at beautychoice.com, so check that website. I will put some direct link to the more info section of the video. And again, that's the Nurturing Force blotting paper and Nurturing Force Blot Out Offensive. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye!